problem focusing on these big shiny cars, which is good. Ooh. Here's a nice big, but not big car one, but nice big small one, I guess. For me to consider anything big, it's gonna be at least half a car. It's ones that I consider to be the big ones, the ones that they've been getting rid of. Sure, that's like full car thing, but it's not character art. Or caricature art, whatever. Cartoon stuff. I went from like maybe March to a few weeks ago without seeing one. And then I saw one. And there was a few trains without, and I saw one. Last to survive. Okay. See a lot of them. Probably one of the most common graffitis I think we see here. Well, we also notice it more. I don't notice the tags as much as I would notice that. So who knows? I don't see many of those, what is it, TWH? We used to see a lot of them TWH painted over. The other persons, they used to battle, I guess. They paint over each other's stuff. Whenever you see one of the other ones, you see a big TH or TWH right over it. I never knew what TWH stood for, so I always used to just call it the White House. There's a big tag. Oh, look at that. We got little things there. It goes all the way through. It's not all character art, so there's a lot of it's writing. A couple little pictures there, but still pretty neat. Nice. It's a good job. Some of these tags are really well done too. It's just not my favorite. But well done though. Some of them not so good. But some of them are. Oh, there's some small character arts. I don't expect to see a big one. Nope. Short train. Not that long of a train and no big character arts. One good medium one though, or big small one. Alright, here we go. 276. Up a little closer here, right to the line, because these track 3 trains have trouble focusing with this new camera, especially with the dark cars. I've said that a few times lately. Hopefully he picks up speed and not at his normal time frame, or else this is going to be a 12-13 minute train. If he can pick up a little quicker within the first 5 minutes, then it'll get under it. But if not, this thing could be over 10 minutes. We'll see. Whatever it says in the bottom right corner is what it did. suspecting there might be a DPU in this. No, we did have 3 at the lead. I remember 4 or 5 years ago, 3 was probably the average amount of locos. Now that's a rare treat. 4 is a super rare treat now. Just doesn't usually happen unless there's a couple of like shunters on there. They're all 2, almost. So far, he's holding his snail tradition. We did hit another decoy driver there. My new nickname to a driver that doesn't look over or wave or do anything. They just look forward and ignore everybody, which is okay. That's fine. It is, I don't know, about 20% of them, I guess. Doesn't mean they're bad. They're good. They're all good drivers for the most part. Alright, I'm moving down here so I can keep a better eye on my vehicle because I know I didn't lock it. And this is not great area, so it's not that any area of Sarnia is really that bad, but worse than other areas in town, maybe. Yeah. He's starting to pick up now, so I guess it's been about, what, 5 minutes, so this train's supposed to be over 12,000 feet, so that is true to what they said on the radio. I don't always count everything I hear on those radios down from there to be true. It's you know, then it would be a pretty big train. 12,000 feet is pretty long for a CN train. There are quite a bit of 10 to 11, but 12 plus, not very often. Is that the end? Okay, well that's nowhere near 12,000 feet then. Alright, and that was not. Alright, it was not that train then. Okay. Back here to get out of the whole breeze. Track 3, service track again. It's about the 5th or 6th time I've seen this in the last week. 6 years before that, I only saw it, I don't know, 3 or 4 times total. We got 2 trains waiting to go westbound, 2 auto rack trains. This will be the 3rd auto rack train today total. 1 from the States and 2 going over. And I hadn't seen an auto rack train in, I don't know, a few weeks anyways. Got 3 today. I haven't filmed as much in the last few weeks as I have the last 3 days though. Oh, we got a slow mover here going into the yard though. As long as it ain't going to be a stopper. We haven't had, we've had 1 stopper in the last year. And that was a couple weeks back or a week or 2 ago. Don't want a stopper. There's trains waiting. But it'll be just that time that they really can't get a stopper is when they'll do a stopper. Yeah. We weren't even sure if there was a train coming because we heard them give the okay, but the lights were all red. So the lights were red. But lately that's not been uncommon. I've seen it several times. A few times, actually, there's been a few times a day over the last few days that a train's come over when the track 2 and track 1 were both red. Now mind you, this is the service track 3, but service track 3 does turn into track 2 before those lights down there, I believe, so. And if track 3, if it doesn't, well then there's no lights for track 3. They don't have any lights in our yard here anyway for track 3 then. Who knows? There is lights for track 3 going that way, which they do use. There's always lights up on that tree going to the States. It's just lately coming from the States. It's been about, I don't know, 10% of the trains come over without any of these lights on for track 1 and 2. Well, north and south track. Track close here is north track. Track 2 and 3 are south. They're south 1, south 2. Or south main and south service. So they're both south track, I guess. Yeah. As slow as can be when there's 2 trains are sitting there waiting. But he's got to get around and into the yard and into the lane, so safer's better. Sure, they know what they're doing, usually. I have been kind of wondering a little bit lately, though. There's been a lot of personal chatter on the scanner. Earlier, they were talking for about half an hour just talking personal stuff. I'm like, well, all I can think of, well, what if there's an emergency, or a track emergency, and the airway's being taken up by personal chatter and jokes and comments, and I don't know. Unless it's a different frequency for the emergency thing, but I usually hear them over the same ones, so no ideas. I just film. Never say I know how they operate or the proper procedures, because I don't know. Now, mind you, the guy I'm here with, my buddy, is the conductor. He's here with me now. Not right beside me, but he's filming around the corner here. So he does know, but he just constantly says that no, it's not allowed. And he was shocked. I kept telling him that the train can come there even if it's red. He's like, no, they can't. Off it comes. Here it comes over the hill, and bam. He's like, what? He doesn't work here though. He works at a different line. A little bit away. A few lines away. In Ontario, but not in this area. But I don't know, it could be that track 3. That track 3 could have another light somewhere down there further that I cannot see. That very well could be, and it's probably more likely the case, but because the track 2 light is on the first overpass, the track 1 light is about a half-mile further down on the far overpass from where we are here, so you never know. There could be a track 3 light way out back in the yard back there, but I was always under the assumption that track 3 light merged into 2 before that, but by the looks of it, I might be wrong, because it doesn't look like it's cut in front of that track 2 light down there. Normally the track 2 does. So it looks like it doesn't. It looks like it goes around the back part of the overpass over there, and it's got its own track. Not all the way through the yard, so might be a light down there that we're just not seeing. We're just gonna call it at that. Just not used to it, because we're used to watching those lights to knowing when a train's coming. And I've only ever seen this like 7 or 8 times now, and yeah, 5 of them have been in the last 3 or 4 days, so I don't know how it works. Once again, this is 492, a very, very late 492. Generally, it comes over right after the 491. It's usually the same guys, but that first guy went over, it was one of the, like a, well, a nickname, kind of a decoy. They don't look, they don't wave, they don't honk, they just look forward. You can see them in there, but that's okay, it's all good. They don't have to. But this guy honked and all that, so he's one of the good ones. So it's not the same guy. Or he was on the other side, but yeah. All right, well, there we go, 492.